Welcome to Battle Day 2013 with your pre-parade hosts John Shanahan and Judy Ziller. Thank you for watching. Presented by Catamount Access Television.
Well, hi. Live from Bennington, Vermont, Cat TV is proud to present the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Parade. I'm Judy Ziller, and joining us today for his 4th year as host is John Shanahan, Director of the Better Bennington Corporation and host of Spotlight on Bennington, which can be seen on both Cat TV and YouTube. Today we commemorate the 236th anniversary of the Battle of Bennington, which was fought August 16th, 1777. Hi, John.
Hi, Judy. Welcome back again for another year of hosting the parade. And it's how many years has it been for you?
You know, I've lost count. It's been so long.
It's a lot more than 4, though.
Oh, yes.
Well, thanks again, and thanks for hosting it again today. And we're excited to be here today because not only is it the Bennington Battle Day Parade, but it's also a new format that Cat TV is using. As you can tell, we're doing the pre-parade show, and we're also simulcasting now with GNA TV, which shows the parade not only in Bennington, but also up in Manchester, Arlington, Dorset, Londonderry, Winhall, Peru, Rupert, Sandgate, Stratton, Sunderland, and Weston. So we welcome our new audience here to the additional towns of Bennington, North Bennington, Shaftesbury, Woodford, and Pownell. So much bigger audience brings the parade out to a larger group. So welcome today. Also new this year is Ben Patton. He'll be hosting the show during the parade, and Ben Patton is with Magic 590 AM out of Albany, and he'll be doing the commentary for the parade from in front of the judges' stand. So stay with us as Ben Patton does the commentary for the parade, and also Mike Cutler will doing some live interviews from the street.
Right. And just to give you a very, very brief overview, why we're here today, why was it important to actually have a battle, which, as most of you know, was not fought here in Bennington. But this was the objective. We had an army that was coming down from Canada, and it was led by General John Burgoyne, and it was said that he had lots and lots of champagne coming down with him. And there were also all these camp followers, and they had this long train of horses and ox, and the women who cleaned their clothes. And I mean, it was not fought. Battles were not fought the way they are being fought today. And there were lots of bugs and stuff like that. There were no places for them to go get food. The army had to travel and make do on what they had. And so the whole objective was that the army was going to be traveling down from Canada and trying to get to the Albany area, where they were going to join up with a couple of other generals. They were going to fight a war, and that was it. They were going to cut off the New England states. Well, that didn't happen. And they started running out of food and water and clothing and everything else that they needed to survive. And they looked over and they saw this little town, Bennington. And Bennington wasn't even part of anything. It wasn't part of the United States. It wasn't part of Vermont. It wasn't part of New York. And they thought, well, here's an easy target. And so they started to march toward Bennington, and that's where you see wonderful soldiers like John Stark, and who fought and fought and fought. And they brought 900 prisoners back to Bennington, and they decimated the army. And that was
the battle took place. It was in Walloomsac.
In the Walloomsac area, right? And so, you know, they just really spoiled any chances that they had of regrouping and attacking a bigger area like the Albany area where they're aiming for.
Prior to the Battle of Saratoga, which
that's exactly right.
Once
they got going toward the Battle of Saratoga, it was over. It was over. And by the way, that's an important battle too, because that's when the French came in on the American side, and without their cooperation and their help, we might all be dressed in British uniforms today.
Absolutely.
So that's just a brief history of the Battle Day. You know, we should really just take a second to introduce ourselves too, because we have, again, a lot of new people. This is the second year we're simulcasting up to Manchester. I mean, how exciting. So, you know, I can tell you a little bit about myself. I started coming up to Bennington when I was just a little girl back in the mid-50s, just a tiny town, and loved Vermont. And eventually I was able to move here, worked here. I worked at the museum. I worked at Second Chance Animal Center. And I just love Vermont. And now I live about, a little more than an hour away in a tiny place called the Village of Nassau with 1,100 other people.
It's a New Yorker who knows more about Vermont than most Vermonters.
That's right. And, you know, there's not much to tell you about the Village of Nassau except for the fact that it's tiny and I love it there. It's very rural. So when I come here, it's like coming to a big city. And John, tell us something about yourself. You've been here a while. Now, if I remember, you come from Massachusetts, right?
Good memory. Yeah, I moved up here in 1982 after graduating, and I came up for the summer, and I visited a friend of mine who was transferred up here, and he hated this area. So I came up to visit for one weekend in 1982, fell in love with it, thought, I'm going to spend the summer here, and 35 years later, here I am. I mean, same thing. I just fell in love with Vermont, with Bennington, with the people. And I can't imagine what it would take to get me out of here. But, just love it. It's a great area.
That's a good story. We're going to
well, now I'm the director of the Better Bennington Corporation,
That's
which
right,
is the downtown organization.
Fill it in.
Yep, and that's it. We're the downtown organization. We have national accreditation for the third year in a row. Part of a national group of 2,600 communities that care about the appearance of downtown, the vitality of downtown, and we have a lot to brag about in Bennington. The last 3 years, we have 39 new businesses, a net gain of 27 businesses, which put us in the national spotlight when we go to the conferences. So it's good things happening here. Just recently, 4 or 5 new businesses. Lots going on.
That's absolutely.
Make sure you come and visit us.
Yeah, we will. And I just wanted to let you know that for the 49th annual parade, there's going to be 12 floats, 14 marching bands, members of the Vermont Academy of Firefighters. Those are kids 14 to 17 years old. They'll be marching today. We've got a real problem across the country, folks, to have volunteer fire departments keep going. Right. It's getting harder and harder and harder to get volunteers. So this is a wonderful organization, the Vermont Firefighters Association, and among their goals is to build in young people a sense of need for community involvement and support. So it's a very honorable event. And John, we've got just 2 minutes before we're going to go to break. Can you tell us a little bit about what is going on actually this weekend? Because people think after the Battle Day Parade things are over, but things are still happening. Yeah,
Judy, one of the biggest things that is happening in Bennington and the entire state of Vermont, because Bennington Battle Day is a state holiday, is all the state parks and historic attractions are all free today, this whole weekend. So if you have no plans this afternoon after the parade, come down and visit the Bennington Battle Monument. It's free to get in, and in addition to the monument, being able to go up into monument, today they also have a living history encampment, drill presentations, musket and artillery demonstrations, educational exhibits, and lots of activities for kids, and that goes right up until 5 o'clock today. So you have plenty of time to come on down to Bennington, get to go up and visit the monument, go up into the monument if you haven't been up there in a while. When's the last time you were up?
A couple weeks ago, I was here.
I thought I'd catch you off for years. I actually went up about a month or 2 ago with some visitors, but a lot to do down here, and there's a lot of events happening at the firehouse as well. So it's a full day to come on down and see us.
Yeah, I think people can still buy tickets for the raffle tickets for the sweepstakes tonight.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, and I think the main prize is like $5,000.
Yeah.
So I mean that's great.
Before we. Right when we come back, we're going to be coming back to our first on-street live interview by Mike Cutler, the roving camera. So we're going to take a quick break in a few seconds, but when we come back, join us for Mike Cutler, who's going to be joining us this year for the first time, and interviewing people up and down the street, and that should be really interesting.
Right. And by the way, in 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you, it's a beautiful day here, and I'm going to keep repeating that. Come on down to the parade.
She promised no raindrops, and it actually is perfect. Not too hot, not too sunny.
This is
way it is right now is
absolutely
perfect.
beautiful weather, and there's a nice crowd down here. But
Yeah, it's starting.
I see lots of empty chairs. We want everybody to come down and join the festivities because this is a fun day. This is a really
We have
exciting
about
time.
30 minutes before the parade starts.
Yes,
Still
and
time,
we're going to be
still
back.
lots of room.
We're going to go to break right now. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thanks.
Why come hither, ye redcoats? Your mind what madness it fills. In the valley there is danger. There's dangers on the hill. Oh, you hear the bugles singing loud and brave. And then you hear the ringing of the rifles from the trees. Oh, the rifle, oh, the rifle. In our hands will prove no trifle. Ye ride a goodly steed, and ye may know another master. Ye forward come with speed. You'll learn to back much faster, and then you'll meet our mountain boys and the leader John and Stars. Lads who make a little noise that always hit their mark. Oh, the rifle, oh, the rifle. In our hands will prove no trifle. Tell he who stays at home will cross the briny water, that thither they must come. My boys, to the slaughter. If we work, why sooner it will be gone. The flint and trigger holds true, sooner it'll be done. Oh, the rifle, oh, the rifle. In our hands will prove no trifle. Oh, the rifle, oh, the rifle. In our hands will prove no trifle. All right. I'm going to do another song. It's called Green Mountains of Vermont. Makes the water flow through the summer and through the snow. As I walk through these autumn leaves, you can see what this all does to me, and that's what makes my life so free. And them old green mountains of Vermont, and them old green mountains I call home. Sunshine on a sunny day, fog chases the blues away. Green trees stand so tall, change color.
Battle Day 2013 with your pre-parade hosts John Shanahan and Judy Ziller. Thank you for watching. Presented by Catamount Access Television. And now, back to the show. You missed us, right?
Welcome back to the Bennington Battle Day Parade. I'm John Shanahan. I'm here with Judy Ziller. Got a few more minutes before we're going to take you to Mike Cutler on the street to do some live interviews. I don't know if you can see behind us, but the streets are starting to fill up pretty quickly now, and roads closed. You'll hear in the background they're doing some sound checks at the Ben Patton's announcing booth and the judging. But while we've got a few seconds to go, can you give us a little quick history about Cat TV? And
yeah, let me tell you a little bit about Cat TV, because we wouldn't be here today, obviously, if Cat wasn't around. We were created in 1991, and every year Cat TV gives back services and resources to the community, which this year's value is more than $3.6 million. That includes all the work that Cat TV does, all the productions, the volunteer hours. They have a way of calculating all of that. And our staff includes Lisa Beyer, who's the executive director, William Gardner, who's our operations manager, Mike Cutler, who was
man on the street
the
today.
man on the street today, who's the production coordinator, Dan May, who's also a production coordinator, Alex Reichert, who's the channel coordinator, Peter Vogel, who's retiring field producer, and Darlene Young, who is going to be our outreach coordinator starting October 1st. And Darlene is sitting here with a big board. I call it the idiot board. She tells us what to do and how to get there and how much time we have.
So if we mess up, we can blame Darlene?
No,
Okay.
she blames
Test 1, 2.
And she's writing, yeah, she's really, really good. She's excellent. And
Test 1, 2.
we also
Check 1, 2.
board members
Hello.
as of September 19th. Ann Mook is the president, Bob Marine, vice president, Tom Daly, secretary, Frank Barnes, Darrell Kennedy, Lindy Lynch, Corey Mears. Also retiring from the board is Bruce Evie, and when running for election this year is Bob Marine, Corey Mears, and Alicia Romack. And I know you know Alicia.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And Bob Marine and Corey Mears are coming in for their second term.
Yep.
I know all of that because I've already sent my ballot in, and great addition, Alicia Romack. Alicia, as you know, is the director of Spotlight on Bennington,
Yep.
which is either the oldest or second oldest show that's been running on Cat TV since 1992.
Yeah, we were trying to debate whether it was Spotlight on Bennington or Pets of the Week, so we'll try to get that information for you in case it's important.
If you'd like to contact Cat TV, you can reach them or you can find them at 625 Main Street. Their phone number is 442-8868, or you can go online to catamountaccess.com. You can also friend them on Facebook or reach them on Twitter. The operating hours are Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 7, Friday until 6, and they're closed on Saturday and Sunday.
John, I want to stop you for a second because
Yeah.
I think we have an interview coming up. Mike is out on the street.
I'm up, right? All right, thanks, John and Judy. So I'm here with Joe Krosick, chair of the select board. And Joe, are you excited for the turnout today?
Oh yeah, it's terrific turnout. I just walked up and down on Main Street here, and it looks like there's not any place to put any lawn chairs anymore.
True, they've been here since 8 o'clock. I saw this morning coming through. So anything exciting in the parade this year for you?
No, just the fact that again, second year in a row, we've got the State Firemen's Convention down here. That's good news because no other town want them. We told them we'd take them here in Bennington every year they want to come down.
That's good. That's good. And anything exciting for next year coming up that you know of, or no?
Not yet planned. I'm sure that Rick Knapp and the fire department will get together and they'll assess how well this one went and they'll decide what they're going to do next year.
Cool. Are you doing some judging today?
No, I'm not. I'm just going to observe, take a lot of photographs. I love taking Battle Day and capturing for the kids and grandkids to see. Can't be here.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Back to you, John, Judy. John, Judy, yeah.
Chris,
We haven't gotten involved.
Kevin, okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Welcome back.
again.
Thank you, Mike. Getting back to some information about Cat TV, some channel information. It's a Comcast cable channels 15, 16, and 17. Channel 15 is the public access. Channel 16 is the arts and entertainment, and Channel 17 is government. Channel 17 is where you could join us for all the select board meetings and school board meetings. If you're interested in getting involved with Cat TV, the new member open house will be on Tuesday, October 22nd, from 6 p.m. Starting at 6 p.m. You can sign up on the Cat TV website or call them again at 8868. I know you introduced the staff at Cat TV and the board members, but just going to tell you who's behind the scenes and helping us bring the parade here today. Today's director is Lisa Beyer. Technical director is Dan May. Audio is Alec Reichart. Talent director is Darlene Young. We've got some cameras going for you too today. Our roving camera and interview on the street. You've seen and just saw Mike Cutler out there. On the scaffold we have Kevin Hoyt, our cable wrangler, and the balcony host is Chris Dayton. Parade lineup today on site is Darlene Young and Lisa Beyer, and of course the parade announcer is Ben Patton from Magic in Albany. Again, I'm John Shanahan, and I'm going to switch it over back to Judy Ziller.
You know, every year this parade is made possible by many people and organizations, and we'd like to especially thank Verizon Wireless of Bennington, their owner, manager, and staff for the use of office space for our Master Control headquarters. Also, the town of Bennington for their cooperation in Battle Day preparations and for providing assistance in our coverage of the parade. The Bennington Fire Department, of course, Rick Knapp especially, who plans this parade every year, and he makes it look so easy. He's our contact person for absolutely everything. So thanks for all his help and assistance, and for the assistance of all the other members of the department who offer their time and energy every year. We'd also like to thank Monument Electric, especially thanks to Bill Kinney, who provides the scaffolding for our third camera angle every year. And of course Comcast Cable, thanks to the local technical crew who continuously ensure that our lines are in good working order so that we can provide live coverage of the parade. I think maybe a lot of people really don't realize how much goes into putting together a parade like this. Just to give you a for instance, I work on our annual, my little village's annual parade at Memorial Day. That's about the only one that I can think of that we do. And the parade is so unbelievably tiny. It takes about 10 minutes to go from one end to another. Yeah. In that 10 minutes, to get everybody together and to actually have a parade that makes any kind of sense, takes us 6 months of planning. So I cannot imagine. I can only think that Rick probably starts planning next year's parade tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. I just know that because the amount of calls that I have to make to Rick Knapp, closing downtown, and businesses want to know the specifics. We get so many calls of people wanting to be in the parade that I refer everything to Rick.
Yeah.
Does a great job.
He does. He does. And we have to thank the police department. I was telling John that when I came in this morning, I came in rather early, and they had signs up already saying road closed at 11 o'clock and detours and all kinds of things. And that's another component that has to be figured in.
Sure.
I mean, we only have 2 policemen in our town and or our village, and they stand there, and again, they have to shut off roads, and they have to figure out how to move people around, and we're only talking a couple hundred people between who's involved and all of this. These are thousands of people here. Yeah. And as I look down, I am reminded of how my first memory of Bennington was coming down Main Street here and seeing cars parked sideways. They used to park
at an angle.
At the angle.
Right.
But when I came down any time for the parade, all of these chairs were out the day before. And coming from Brooklyn, I used to say, there's no way in Brooklyn we'd ever put out chairs the night before. Absolutely. They'd have a truck right behind you picking up chairs. It's like
one of the cutest things, coming up and down Main Street and seeing the chairs out.
Absolutely.
In advance, a day in advance.
It really makes a difference.
Then we're going to be going back to Mike Cutler for an interview.
Are we heading over to Mike now?
Should be in a few minutes that would be going over.
That's it, yeah.
All right, and we're here with another interview. This is Mr. Ben Patton, the announcer today for the parade. Are you excited to announce this year?
Absolutely. Been doing it for quite a few years. Actually, we've tried to figure out how many years, and we still haven't been able to figure it out. I think it's been at least 10 years. I'm not quite sure, towards 15 maybe, but it's been quite a while.
I have seen you here a number of years. So what's your favorite part about doing it?
Well, I like the interaction. between myself and the groups that come through. It's a lot of fun being able to describe the action, what's going on, so that people will be able to hear that, maybe throw in some tidbits about things that are going on that people might not know about some of the groups and some of the bands that come through, because it is quite exciting. They do a lot of work, and it's a lot of it's their time, it's their time to shine, so it's kind of cool.
And do you have a favorite float that rolls by every year? Anything exciting that?
I like the drum and bugle corps, so any of the drum and bugle corps that come through. I know Deep River is supposed to be here today, and there's some others that are coming through, but I like to see the Revolutionary War, them dressed up like that. I think it's really good.
Well, it's a great day, lots of people out here, so should be fun.
Yeah, and the weather's just about perfect. If the sun stays in, we'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for all you do.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Okay, so you're going to come back at 12:15?
No. I think we're back now.
We're back now. We're live.
Yeah.
You can tell the show is live.
Yeah, we have to blame Lisa Beyer for that one. That's great.
So we're back for a while. Again, we're going to now tell you a little bit about the upcoming events that you can enjoy in Bennington for the rest of the year. And John's going to handle that because he's the master of the upcoming events.
Killing some time. We got a few minutes before the parade starts. Got this list going. Actually, what I'd like to tell you about before I even do the list, the town of Bennington, Mike Harrington is the Economic and Community Development Director, has started a Google Calendar that you can go to benningtonvt.org, click on the Google Calendar, and that is a collaborative effort of quite a few organizations in town, that all of our events activities appear on that one calendar.
That's a great idea.
Well, it's something everybody's asked, where do we go to find out everything that's going on? Well, we finally have it. It's the calendar at the benningtonvt.org website. The BBC website, betterbennington.com, and the Chamber of Commerce, bennington.com, also will be all linked together. So whoever's calendars you go to will see everybody's events. Took a lot putting it together. It's not up 100% yet, but I just want to invite you to go visit that and see it, and you'll get all of this information. But right now, on August 20, there's a Grandma Moses Family Activities up at the Bennington Museum. On August 22nd is one of the Hemmings cruise-ins that they do Thursdays throughout the summer. Huge event. They get big crowds down there, a lot of fun. And as you know, on Friday nights, downtown Bennington, Phoenix Wing House of Design and the BBC host live music on the steps of the town office. And that's Friday at 6 o'clock. It's every Friday, right up until mid-October. So stop down. It's a beautiful setting for it and getting some nice crowds for that. We have First Fridays, a new event that's going very well downtown. Started it in July, and it's going to go through October. So Friday nights, the first Friday of each month, all the shops stay open until 8 o'clock on Friday. There's live music at the town office. We have a gallery walk that features about 19 galleries. You can meet the artists and come to the opening events. The Second Chance Animal Shelter hosts a chalk art contest where we close down School Street and all the children create a giant chalk mural. So there's a lot going on Friday nights. And then that's the first Friday. The next one is September 4th, so please stop down and join us for that. You can pick up some programs for that during that event or at Evans News or the BBC in advance of that. And of course, some of the big events coming up are the Garlic Festival, which is on, this year it's early, it falls early in the calendar, but it's August 31st and September 1st and 2nd over at Camelot Village on Route 7. And we're just coming off of a big win with the Southern Vermont Arts and Crafts Festival, which moved to Bennington this year. Great event, real successful. Bennington loved hosting it. And craft producers, which put the show on, said we did a good job and they had a really good turnout. So we're looking forward to having that as a permanent event in Bennington. The Village Chocolate Shop on Main Street features Funtastic Fridays every Friday.
We're going to take a break for a couple minutes, and then I think we're going to be back again, and we're going to finish some of these events.
yapping about, Kevin? I am. So what are you yapping about?
Hi, thank you for coming back. We're going to have an interview now with Mike. He'll be talking to members of the police and fire department, Paul Duchette and Jeff Gauthier.
All right, and we're here with representation from the fire department and the police department. And are you guys ready for a good day, good parade?
We're ready for a great day. I got the whole police department working today, and everybody's on a traffic post or walking a foot beat, so we're looking forward to a great parade.
Absolutely. Good weather, too. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And you'll be judging some floats, or?
The Bennington Fire Department is going to judge floats, antiques, and color guards, and the state takes over and judges everything throughout the fire departments. Most men in line, best appearing, stuff like that.
And what are you guys most excited about for the parade? Anything exciting coming through the floats or the bands or anything this year?
I think that this year it's exciting again because we have the 124th State Fire Convention. Yep. Bennington is hosting that this year, and so there'll be a lot of fire apparatus. There was a great dinner last night where Chief Crawford was named the Fire Chief of the Year in the state of Vermont, so we're looking forward to seeing him come down in a convertible, and he deserves it. So I'm looking forward to that because he, along with the rest of the members of the fire department, work extremely hard to be successful, and I'm looking forward to him being recognized for that right here in front of the reviewing stand.
Anything else you guys want to add before the parade kicks off?
Just looking forward to a great day. I mean, the weather's great. There's a lot of people out. I've been cruising up and down the road here. A lot of kids out, a lot of kids that are excited, and I think it's going to be a great day.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for all your departments do for the town. We appreciate it. And back to you, John and Judy.
Welcome back.
And we're back, yeah. And you know what? We have a lot of stuff that John wants to finish up about upcoming activities. Don't ever say there's nothing to do in Bennington.
Yeah,
Go for it, John.
We do have a long list of stuff that's coming up or activities in Bennington, and we got some time here before the parade starts, so we're going to fill it in with some information in those few minutes. But speaking of events, and one I should have brought up, it's one of the biggest events this year. You all remember the Moose Fest, 2006, and then the return of the Moose Fest in 2009. And this year in Bennington, it's all about the catamounts. The Bennington Chamber of Commerce, talk about some work putting an event together. This takes years, takes 3 years to put this thing on. But this year it's the catamounts. I don't know if you can see one in behind us in the camera shot, but they're all over downtown Bennington and throughout Bennington and the surrounding areas. It's Catamount Fest in Bennington this year. If you haven't been down here, come down and see them. I believe there's like 39 catamounts around the community, all done by local artists. But I'm holding up here a DVD that Cat TV created. This DVD includes all the artists' bios and information on the cat, inspiration for their artwork. Really interesting, the whole backstory of how they arranged to have 30 some odd different artists selected by the sponsors for the catamounts, the work that goes into it. And it's going to bring you all the way up to the actual beginning of the event when it hits the streets. You can pick this DVD up at the Bennington Bookshop, at Evans News, both of them are located on Main Street, or at the Chamber of Commerce at 100 Veterans Memorial Drive up on North Street in Bennington. This is a first part of a two-part series. They've created this for the beginning and the production of the event, but there's also another one that will be created at the end, which is the Catamount Gala. And the Catamount Gala is when the street artwork goes to auction, which will be on October 26th at the Bennington Center for the Arts. Tickets are available if you're interested in purchasing one of the cats or bidding on them or just attending the gala. If you'd like to reach the Chamber of Commerce, you can reach them at 447-3311, or you can call me at the BBC at 442-5758. I know everybody's numbers except our own.
Oh, and by the way, I promised to do this. Go cat crazy.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
You promised. I did. Nice job, Judy. Going back to some of the events, I'm going to work backwards a little bit.
Sure.
That was on October 26th. That's in the evening, the gala. The gala starts at 7 o'clock at the Center for the Arts, but since you're going to be in Bennington anyway, because that's the same day as Fallapalooza. Fallapalooza is the last big event that closes out the year in Bennington. That takes place all day Saturday from 10 to 4 on Main Street. Fallapalooza is what the Pumpkin Challenge morphed into. We have hay rides up and down Main Street, all the vendors. We have live music all over downtown. Of course, all the shops are open. Really fun event, and last year we lucked out. It was absolutely spectacular. Got our fingers crossed for that.
Unlike Mayfest this year.
Mayfest, if you remember, it snowed. I'll go back. Now, on First Fridays, I had mentioned that there's about 19 galleries. The Unitarian Universalist. Every places like that open up for galleries. And we had Tony Connor coming up. Tony Connor is a watercolorist in Bennington, a very successful and wonderful artist. On September 8th, we have the Glenn Miller Band coming to Bennington. Oh. Such a big event. It's one of the Vermont Arts Exchange Basement Music Series, which, if you know, they bring in some great groups from all over the Northeast and even further for the music series. But when they're hosting the Glenn Miller Band, they're going to do that at the Bennington Center for the Arts. And that's on September 8th. So if you're interested in tickets for that, you can contact the Vermont Arts Exchange or, again, me at the BBC, and we'll hook you up with that information. Even before that, I'm bouncing back and forth now, is of course the Antique and Classic Car Show in Bennington. Yeah. Talk about a long-standing event and a very successful one. But this year the car show is on September 13th, 14th, and 15th, and we're glad to say it's back at Willow Park for I think the third year now.
Right, it was down in Pownell for a while at the racetrack, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Willow Park went through some changes, but they reworked everything and got it back up there. It's a beautiful location for it. Car owners love it. And the Better Bennington group in the downtown community started the car show Cruisin' on Saturday night. Please join us, where we have all the car owners join us on Main Street. We close down no, we don't close down Main Street. We earmark parking for antique and classic cars anyway, or only. We have live music down here, and it's Mo Rancourt and his band, which are phenomenal. and that's a free concert right on Main Street during the cruise-in.
And you know what's so interesting too is when you're coming into Bennington from any area to see these cars creeping along. Oh, they're beautiful.
We're a car town. We hosted, we have Hemmings Motor News, of course, which makes us a car town. We were the finish line last year for the Great Race, which it's the race that goes through the continent. I think it was from Tennessee or Oklahoma where it started, and it ended in Bennington last year.
Wow.
This year they're going to be coming through Bennington when they're going from Maine to Florida, I believe. They're coming through Bennington for a lunch stop. So we're definitely a car town. Bringing up the Veterans Day Parade is always on November 11 at 11 o'clock. Easy to remember, it's 11, 11, 11. Be on Main Street for the Veterans Day Parade. During the car show, there's also the Quilt Fest, which takes place at the high school, and that's on the 15th. So that's on the Sunday.
I think it's actually, I think it might be Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, okay.
Yeah, and that's the Quiet Valley.
Yeah, Quiet Valley Quilters, I believe, yeah.
Beautiful.
And I think that brings us up to the end of the year for events. But
wow, and then we start all over again. That's great. You know, I just wanted to remind everybody, if you're enjoying the broadcast, which is going to start very, very quickly, I'm looking down Main Street waiting for the parade to begin. And of course, Ben Patton is going to be taking over the commentary this year so that everybody's going to be able to hear Ben, and he does a terrific job, so we're happy about that. But if you're interested in becoming part of CAT TV, remember, the next member open house is going to be Tuesday, October 22nd at 6 p.m. Call us, 442-8868. And I believe it's time for us to be quiet for a little while, although you may even see us during the parade. We'll be sitting here watching it and enjoying it with everybody else.
Well, thanks for joining us and enjoy the parade today.
This was a lot of fun for us.
The sun's coming out. I think you were right.
I know I was right. We're going to have a beautiful day. So come on down and join us, please.
Did she tell you the story about I went up, you know, last week. I went up a week ago Tuesday, and you were on vacation. You told me.
Looks like the copies are one. The one that's right there. Oh, that's the copy.
I'm gonna try to
His daddy's here.
just like it.
I'm not afraid. I'm working.
That's what I said.
He's all.
He's trying to steal Shavery's girlfriend. He had given his and she had found around all day yesterday. What is that route that we took when Katie backed out of the vehicle? He goes to Shavery's house. Over the big bridge.
You're his silver.
Over the big bridge. That's I didn't get that wonderful salad.
Seriously?
Is that chicken? What is it? The chicken? Pop.
Ellie. Hi, buddy. I'm sorry. They take forever.
Ellie?
It is. Greg. Oh.
Can I have everybody's attention? 1 minute. On behalf of the Lakewood Fire Department, I would like to welcome you to the 49th Annual Lakewood Battle Parade and also the 144th State Convention of Firefighters. Water and solar is in the back if you would like some. Bathroom is right over there. I have a few changes to go through with you. On the third page, starts out with Scott Street in Safford. You'll see 1952 Jeep driven about halfway down the page. Between that and the USS Bennington will be the National Guard. Section 4, pages past that. All the way to the bottom it says Beamer Auto Sales will be the James Fire Department. Two more pages, section 6. All the way to the bottom, Southern Storm football team. After them will be the Wallingford Fire Department, followed by the Chippewa Falls Fire Department, then the Wilmington Fire Department. And the last one is section 7. After the Stratton Mountain Volunteer Fire Department will be the Williamstown, Vermont Fire Department. That's all we have for now. Thank you for coming.
So good. If you eat half of this,
Ready there, handsome?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Parade. This afternoon, the parade is being televised by Cat TV, as they always do, and do such a great job. But for the first time, my audio will be going over the parade, so I'm happy for that. I'm glad the Cat TV has done that. Welcome, everybody, to the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Parade. I am your parade announcer, Ben Patton from the J&M Ben Magic in the Morning Show, Magic 590 in Albany, New York. Glad to be here again. Tried to figure out how long I've been doing it. Well over 10 years, but we're glad you're here this afternoon. We've got a beautiful day. Our salute this afternoon is going to be returned by Sergeant Major Bill McCoy. It's his 47th parade that he will be returning a salute. If you give him a nice hand. Bill, if you could stand, that would be nice. We could see you. There you go. Handsome fellow he is. We are underway. The first set is on its way down. Of course, we can't begin our parade without our police. We've got our Bennington police also from Old Bennington, our Vermont State Police, and the Bennington County Sheriffs. We'll have some national anthem will be coming up in just a little bit. We'll have some dedications as well. So we are glad that you're here for the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Parade. We have 7 sections in the parade today. Usually we have 7, and we do have that again today. We've got some highlights coming up a little bit later on. Of course, the Shriners will be here, and there'll be a lot of floats. You guys will really be able to enjoy it. We've got fife and drum corps. We've got fire departments coming from all over. So again, we've got a lot of stuff packed into about 2 hours in this parade, and we're really glad that you're here this afternoon. Heading to our reviewing stand right now, of course, our police vehicles
from Bennington Police, Old Bennington, the Vermont State Police, and the Bennington County Sheriffs. Just to let you know, this is a parade, so you certainly can clap and hoot and holler. You know, folks come from a long way. It's a mile route. They've got to walk all the way down there, so make sure that they can hear your appreciation for them being here today. Again, we've been doing this for 48 years. This is our 49th one. We want to make sure that everybody that comes through this line feels special. So just to remind you, if your hands don't hurt at the end of this, you're not clapping hard enough, okay? So just enjoy the parade. Make sure that you let the folks that are here know that you enjoy it. And then we all invite you down to the firehouse afterwards. Got some awards, some stuff going on as well. Right behind our police vehicles this afternoon is the color guard of the Vermont State Firefighters Association. They've been serving Vermont Fire Service since 1890. So for well over 120 years, they have been serving Vermont. Heading to our reviewing stand right now, our Vermont State firefighters. In the lead car this afternoon is our president, Francis Buck. I'm hoping that this is the first vice president. Am I right? Richard King? All right, there we go. Our second vice president is Norm Flanders. And you know that guy in the back. He's our Vermont State Firefighter Secretary right here from Bennington, Vermont, Kevin Goodhue. And right behind the secretary, we've got our Fire Cadet Academy from the Vermont State Firefighters Association. These are our baby firefighters. They're going to grow up and be big strapping guys like the ones that are driving these cars right here. Let them hear it. Riding that beautiful, wow, that's a nice car there. Vermont State Firefighter Association past president, Dwight and, never mind. There you go. Salute as you go by. Here's our chief's car coming through right here. Smile for the camera. Very handsome. Past Chief Joe Wasick. And here comes our Grand Marshal. The Grand Marshal of the Bennington Battle Day Parade and past Bennington Fire Chief John Bean. I believe he's got the grandkids in the back. Very nice. Here comes Charlie Boyle. We're also honoring him this afternoon with his wife. And I believe she's having a birthday. Happy birthday. Here comes the 40th National Guard Army Band from Colchester, Vermont. Vermont's own 40th Army National Band has probably served their state and nation since their inception back in 1907. Been organized under the current name since 1947. Now coming through the Bennington Volunteer Fire Department Color Guard with a chief And he's our Fire Chief of the Year, Steve Crawford. Our Deputy Chief is Jeff Vickers, and the Assistant Chief is Jeff Berry. Our program will begin as soon as we get our honorary folks back up here. We'll be able to start. Everyone, if you would please rise and remove your hats. We will now have the singing of our national anthem by Miss Carly Rogers.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glad, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Congratulations, Uncle Charlie.
Thank you, Carly. The Bennington Fire Department would like to extend their sympathies to the families of the following members that passed away during the last year. Richard Lindsay, honorary member of the Putnam Hose Company. John Ottaviano, honorary member of the Eagle Hose Company. John Knights, honorary member of the Stark Hose Company. The Vermont State Firefighters Association would like to extend their sympathies to the families of the following members that passed away during the last year. Dick Adams, past chief of the Shrewsbury Fire Department. Charles Baker, past chief of the Wallingford and Hubbardton Fire Department. Art Carroll, president of the Georgia Fire Department and First Response. Charles Jarrow, member of the Mount Holly Fire Department. Frank Grout, firefighter of the Williamstown Fire Department. George Herrick, member of the Chittenden Fire Department. Richard Kehoe, past president of the Arlington Fire Department. Dan Corgiebel, past chief of the Shrewsbury Fire Department. Perry Matson, firefighter, Pownell Valley Fire Department. Tom Mitchell, captain, Shrewsbury Fire Department. Logan Newell, firefighter, Georgia Fire Department. Gordon Sweet, past chief, North Bennington Fire Department. Jerry Tippy Thibodeau, firefighter, Killington Fire Department. Sidney Thurston, past chief, Waterbury Center Fire Department. Henry Van Orman, firefighter, Pownell Valley Fire Department. And Jess Wimble, firefighter, Georgia Fire Department. Thank you. We'd now like to honor our Grand Marshal of the Bennington Battle Day Parade, John Bean. You can clap, that's fine. You clap as much as you want. He deserves it for sure. John is a 45-year member of the Bennington Fire Department serving in the Eagle Hose Company. During this time, he served the Bennington Battle Day Committee in all kinds of jobs, from selling tickets to help cook the chickens, and then on Sunday to judge the fire apparatus entered in competition. While working in all these various jobs that needed to be performed, he also found time to be elected foreman, now captain, of the Eagle Hose, and then took the plunge and sought out to climb the chief's ladder, being elected second assistant chief in 1981. In 1987, he rose to the rank of chief of the department and led this great department for 3 years. After his tenure, he continued to answer calls and became a safety officer for on-scene fires to not only protect the members from hazards, but also the civilians on scene who came out to watch the fires. John continues to help where he can to make the department and Battle Day weekend the best that they can be. John Bean. Our Bennington Fire Department retired honorary member, Charlie Boyle. Charlie, as he is affectionately known, joined the department in 1964 as a Stark Hose Company member. We awoke him many times when he lived on Safford Street when the air horn announced a fire alarm box was pulled, and I guess his joining was just meant to be. Charlie served the citizens of Bennington for over 20 years until his company transferred him out of state and he had to leave the department. You would think that that was the end of Charlie, but guess what? He came back each Battle Day weekend to help out in any job that needed to be performed. Charlie is very proud to have served in the Bennington Fire Department, and even today he's ready to help out and assist us in any way he can. Thank you, Charlie, for all you have done and continue to do. Charlie Boyle. Steve. Hello, Steve. How are you? Fire Chief Steve Crawford. Steve, we've got a couple things for you here. The Lieutenant Governor was down on Friday. Unfortunately, couldn't stay until today. Would have been a long weekend for him. But he sent a letter in honor of your great accomplishment. We'd like to read it to you. Dear Steve, calls you Steven. I'm going to call you Steve. I would like to extend my congratulations to you on your receipt of the Vermont State Firefighters Association Chief of the Year Award. On this day, the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Celebration Parade and 124th Vermont State Firefighters Convention, you have given your town another reason to rejoice. You are the first Bennington Fire Chief to receive this honor, and it's one that's very well deserved. There is something special about people who choose to devote their lives to public service. For over 2 decades, you have kept your neighbors safe, allowing them to sleep peacefully at night, knowing you are standing watch. Through your membership and involvement with both the Vermont State Firefighters Association and the New England Fire Chiefs Association, it's clear that you never turned down an opportunity to apply your talents where they could make a difference for your community. This is, in my mind, one of the true marks of a leader. I commend you for all you have done to serve Bennington. I hope others will be inspired by your accomplishments and follow in your footsteps. Again, my sincere congratulations from the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, Phil Scott. And it just doesn't stop there, does it, Steve? This is a plaque, Chief Stephen K. Crawford, presented on behalf of the Bennington Fire Department in recognition of being selected as the 2013 Vermont State Firefighters Association Fire Chief of the Year. Steve Crawford, everybody. Let's give a nice hand for all the folks that we're honoring today. John Bean, Charlie Boyle, and Steve Crawford. I don't think you want all that hardware with you, do you? You sure? You want us to hold on to that for you? All right. Then we can get started as soon as you get going. We want the parade to continue, right? Right? We want them to go? All right. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. There you go. All right. I guess we'll keep going then. Again, welcome to the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Parade. The parade is being broadcast on CAT TV. And again, we'd like to thank Carly Rogers for her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you, Carly. Very, very nice. I like that, the parade wave and everything. Very nice. Very nice. Now, do we have you back again next year? We do. One more year, right? Okay. Then we got to break somebody else in, maybe. Maybe. That's right. Next year, we're 50 years going. Wow. That's pretty cool. Very cool. All right, we're continuing section number 1 of the Bennington Battle Day Parade. Again, I'm Ben Patton for the Jay and Ben Magic in the Morning Show. Glad to be here this afternoon. We're having a great time. Hope you are as well. And we would like you to, again, make sure that you cheer loudly for all the folks coming through. You know, they work really hard. Our firefighters and everybody and the police, everybody does a great job here in Bennington. And the folks that are coming in from outside, make sure that you make them feel welcome like you do every single year here at the Bennington Battle Day Parade. That's what we do the best. We make the folks feel welcome. That's what it's all about here in Bennington. And again, we'd invite you down to the fire department after the parade is over. And there'll be some things going on down there as well. So we appreciate that you're here this afternoon for the 49th Annual Bennington Battle Day Parade. Again, our salute this afternoon is being brought for the 47th time from Sergeant Major Bill McCoy. We'd like to thank him for being here as well. Ted, I'm not going to forget you. I know you're looking over here like he's going to forget me. I'm not going to forget you, Ted. I promise. I got really excited with everything, but I'm not going to forget you, I promise. I may forget the guy behind you, but I'm not going to forget you. That'd be you, Jim. I'm not going to forget you either. I promise. Got all this stuff written down, and Jeff will hit me if we don't get it in. Thank God for you. I'm just going to ask, can I have a hand for Jeff Goff here? I can't do the parade without him. He's like that silent partner. Every time I need something, he gives me that information so that we can get this parade down right. Every year we do it a little bit better. So next year should be great, 50 years. All right, we need to move the, there we go. I was going to say we need to move the band so we can get going. There they go. All right, heading down, marching unit of the Bennington Volunteer Fire Department, Captain Ted Rinaldi. Hook and Ladder Company, Captain Jim Wright. Eagle Hose Company, Captain Mike Ruprecht Jr. Stark Hose Company, Captain Justin Kinney. Here come our junior firefighters from the Bennington Fire Department. Captain Cindy Richmond. Right behind that, we've got some trucks, which are always good with the fire department. First one coming through right now is from Stark Hose. Company number 1, engine. Right behind them is the Eagle Hose, company number 4. Then we have Putnam Hose, company number 3 coming through. The big ladder truck on the way with a special guest up on top. Everybody see Smokey up top? The big ladder truck from the W.H. Bradford H&L number 1. And we got Smokey on the top. We also have our incident support unit vehicle, number 938. And our state hazmat support truck from the Bennington Fire Department. Erwin, you look good in that truck. Past Chief Erwin Madsen. Heading to the reviewing stand right now. A little partial to them because I grew up in Connecticut. This is the Deep River Junior Fife and Drum Corps from Deep River, Connecticut. Came all the way up from Deep River. That's a long trip up here. The Deep River Junior Ancient Fife and Drum Corps was formed in 1955 and today consists of a 26-member corps of young, dedicated musicians. The Deep River Junior Ancient Fife and Drum Corps continues to foster and promote ancient martial music through education, instruction, and participation in parades and musters. Outfitted in revolutionary uniforms, red wool coats, contrasting trim, cream-colored vests, khaki pants, black garters, and tri-corner hats. Their musical repertoire is based on the music of the Civil and Revolutionary War eras, a few contemporary tunes and songs. Just 5 years ago, the DRJA took the Bennington Battle Day Parade First Place Award in 2008, and their motto has always been, if the music's too loud, we're doing it right. The Deep River Junior Fife and Drum Corps from Deep River, Connecticut. Here comes the Bennington Rescue Squad and Float. The Town of Bennington Rescue Squad, first organized in April of 1963, when it became clear that the need for an ambulance service in the area was necessary. A professional ambulance service had not quite worked out. The hospital could not afford to operate an ambulance service, and funeral directors, who by default found them in the ambulance business, had neither the manpower nor equipment to continue offering the ambulance service. After 5 fatal accidents occurred in the area in one weekend, the decision was made to form a rescue squad. The Vermont State Police, Hoosick Fall Rescue Squad, funeral directors, and service clubs helped get the group started. And on June 23rd, 1963, the Bennington Rescue Squad responded to its first call for a standby at the Bennington Catholic High School Horse Show. The first emergency call was a motor vehicle accident in Woodford. They're now guided by a committed volunteer board of directors. Fully paid critical care paramedic level service continues to serve Bennington and the surrounding communities. The Bennington Rescue Squad. And no parade would be complete without our own Cleo the Clown, who pulled that car all the way from who knows where, but they're here. And a beautiful VW convertible, very nice. Thank you, Cleo. I'm looking for some candy from Cleo, that didn't happen. You guys should be all right. I'm looking at the kids sitting here, they're wondering, when does the candy start? On our way now, the float from Relay for Life, a team event to fight cancer. They do it each and every year. Thank God this guy is walking down with the amount of money so I can mention it while he walks by. $112,686.98 raised as they fight cancer through Relay for Life. You couldn't throw in the 2 cents? Come on. There's the candy. That's our first group throwing candy this afternoon. Very nice. I'd like to thank the Relay for Life group for all that they do in and around Bennington. Of course, the big celebration going on towards the end of June. We've now reached division number 2 in the 2013 Bennington Battle Day Parade. This is our 49th one. We're going to kick it off with the Bennington Elks Lodge, number 567. And our Bennington Lodge carrying a very, very big flag, beautiful flag coming down. Their motto, Elks Care, Elks Share. How you doing, girls, all right? Smile when you're on TV, there you go. Right behind them we have, from post 1034, it's the Brattleboro, Vermont VFW Color Guard. And marching towards us right now, they're comprised of the All right, they're heading towards the reviewing stand right now. They're comprised of the American Legion Brattleboro post number 5 in Brattleboro and Keene post number 4. They comprise the Twin State Marching Band. Again, it's the Twin State Marching Band. And our neighbor shuts up the road to the north. It's the Shaftesbury Fire Department. Got our Shaftesbury fire trucks coming through. Engine tanker number 64. Engine tanker number 65 from Shaftesbury. Shaftesbury engine number 3. And our truck number 68 from Shaftesbury, Vermont, Fire Rescue. And right behind them, boy, there's a lot of them. Holy cow. Here are the Whirling Twirlers from Bennington, Vermont. All right, which one of you is going to be brave enough to do that twirly thing in the air where you catch it? Somebody in the back, one of the girls in purple, got to do it here. All right, that's all right. Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Girls, you should be watching this. You guys are going to be doing it in a couple of years here. Again, the Whirling Twirlers. Very nice. Half of them are saying, I've never walked this long. Here comes the Cub Scouts troop number 330 from Arlington and Shaftesbury, Vermont. Guess we call them a pack. Pack 330. Smile for the camera, boys. And there's always someone. Right behind them, a float from Duda's Daycare. Hands down, the coolest daycare around. That's what it says. I'm just reading it off the truck. Now heading towards the reviewing stand right now, Bennington VFW post 1332 with its color guard. Now coming through from our post 1332. Here's a 1952 Jeep driven by Steve Leach. This is a 1952 M38A1 U.S. Marine Corps Willys Jeep. And in the Jeep is the Vermont State VFW Senior Vice Commander, Brenda Cruikshank. Here comes our members from the USS Bennington. And thank you for your service. We appreciate it very, very much. Here come our disabled American veterans. This is Bennington chapter number 4. There's more of our vets through from our Bennington number 4 right here. I'd like to thank them for their service. Everyone appreciates that. Hey, it's Uncle Milt. Hey, how are you? Smile for the camera. There you go. Now our Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 601, right here in Bennington, Vermont. And here is a float from the Vietnam Veterans of America. Now heading to the reviewing stand, a float sponsored by Bennington Project Independence from the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center on Harwood Hill, right here in Bennington, Vermont. Bennington Project Independence, striving for independence. Here comes the Excelsior Senior Drum and Bugle Corps from Troy, New York, under the direction of Danelle Mataruga, the only all-age Class A Division competitive drum corps from the Greater Capital District of New York. As a member of the Drum Corps Associate Circuit, Excelsior will compete this Labor Day in Annapolis, Maryland at the Naval Academy. Excelsior recently placed second in Schuylerville, New York, currently ranked number 7 in the country. Excelsior would like to thank the Bennington Day Parade Committee for having them back, and Excelsior will be hosting an exhibition in front of the firehouse at the end of the parade. Excelsior Senior Drum and Bugle Corps in Troy, New York. And you can see him down at the firehouse at the end of the parade. Excelsior Senior Drum and Bugle Corps in Troy, New York. I would just be scared to make a mistake with her. Great job. All right, I'm just hot watching these guys already. Here is the North Bennington Volunteer Fire Department in North Bennington, Vermont. North Bennington Fire Department Chief is Ed Myers. They were organized back in 1834. Got a big anniversary coming up next year. 180 years. Got our North Bennington apparatus coming through right now. Our Truck 953, also our cold water support team from North Bennington. Our truck number 55 and truck 56. Now on the way, Fort Cralo, post number 471. It's the American Legion Yankee Doodle Band. The band is a Fort Cralo Post 471 American Legion Yankee Doodle Band in front of the Bennington American Legion Post 13 Color Guard. In the winter of 1928, the Fort Cralo Post number 471 in the American Legion of Rensselaer organized a senior drum and bugle corps consisting of its own members. Since all of the members of the drum corps were active Legionnaires, they put all their efforts into making their musical organizations an outstanding part of the American Legion, both at a state and national level. The Yankee Doodle Band formed as a band back in 1936. Comes our American Legion unit number 13, Poppy Queen, Poppies. Now the marching unit of the Bennington Rural Volunteer Fire Department and Equipment. Our chief of the Bennington Rural, Sean Gardner. Our Bennington Rural Fire Department trucks. Truck number 44 and truck number 45. Rescue 2 coming through right now. Truck number 49. By the way, we are into section 3 of the Bennington Battle Day Parade. Comes truck number 46. Truck number 47 from Bennington Rural Volunteer Fire Department. And we have our Rescue 1. Again, this is the 49th annual Bennington Battle Day Parade being broadcast on CAT TV. After you get here and get home, you certainly can re-watch it. They'll be rebroadcast throughout the week. Next up, a float from the Vermont Center for Independent Living. Citizens with disabilities working together, dignity, independence, and civil rights. Now we have some trucks coming through from the Pownell Valley Volunteer Fire Department in Pownell, Vermont. Chief of the Pownell Valley Volunteer Fire Department is Chief Joel Howard. Coming through is engine number 2. We have engine number 3. All right. And right behind the truck number 4 from the Powell Valley Fire Department, we have the folks from Rutland Town, Vermont. Got a lot of Rutland Town fans here, very nice. Rutland Town Fire Rescue Truck. And right behind them, the Powell Protective Association Volunteer Fire Department in Powell, Vermont. Keith Kuhn is your fire chief. And now we've got the Springfield Kilty Band from West Springfield, Massachusetts, marching through history and preserving the tradition. Founded back in 1917, they'll be celebrating their 100th anniversary coming up in just a few years. The Springfield Kilty Band is one of the oldest in the nation. The Kilty Band promotes Irish and Scottish bagpipe music through their great performances, just like today's event at the Bennington Battle Day Parade. The Springfield Kilty Band. Comes the fire department from Underhill, Jericho, volunteer fire department, fire rescue truck. We have a float sponsored by the East Pownell Fire Department Auxiliary and East Pownell, Vermont. How'd you get that job? And they're walking behind you here, 20 years older than you are. How does that work out? Somebody got the good job. You guys draw the short straws there. The Vermont State Hazmat, their hazardous materials response team. We thank them for being here at the Bennington Battle Day Parade. And right behind the Vermont Hazardous Materials Response Team, we have National Guard with their Humvees. We'd like to thank the National Guard for coming this afternoon in their Humvees. And we thank them for their service to our great country. Again, this is the Bennington Battle Day Parade 49th edition being broadcast live on Cat TV. You'll also be able to see it throughout the week. We'd like to thank Cat TV for putting their video in there and taping this great parade. We are 3 sections down. This is the beginning of section number 4 as soon as the National Guard comes through. You know them, you love them, you can't live without them. They come here every year to the Bennington Battle Day Parade. It is the Cambridge Band from Cambridge, New York. Cambridge Band is celebrating their 160th anniversary. They've been in business since 1853. The Cambridge Band. And right behind them, our neighbors to the north. From Arlington, Vermont, it is the Arlington Volunteer Fire Department. Our chief is Jamie Koshtin. This is the Arlington Muster Truck. Not mustard truck, but muster truck. It's the drill team from Arlington. Arlington engine tanker number 76. And from just over the border in the creek, you know they call it the creek, it's the White Creek Fire Department. Engine 471 coming through. We'd like to thank White Creek for being here this year. Right behind them we have our Shriners. Got them in their monster trucks this year. I like that on the windshield. It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand. I like that. Very nice. All of our mini monster trucks from the Shriners. Thank you for being here this year. Looks like we got some low rider motorcycles from the Shriners. Can you pop a wheelie with that? I couldn't either. Again, the Bennington Battle Day Parade 49th edition being broadcast on TV, Cat TV. I'd like to thank Cat TV for doing that as well. Comes the Era Court Clowns, Ladies Oriental Shrine, North America, court number 42 in Rutland, Vermont. Can't hear that accordion. Get that going there. Comes the Scottish Rite Masons of Vermont. The Valley of Brattleboro Scottish Rite Freemasons. And now we've got a float coming through from the Masonic Societies of Bennington. 504 Main Street right here in Bennington, Vermont. That's an old VW from Sunset Playland. Right on Harwood Hill, Route 7A. Our folks from the Bennington Trail Conservancy. For the Bennington Trail Conservancy. It's our Bennington Rescue Squad vehicle. And right behind them are the American Red Cross. This is the Bennington County Disaster Action Team of the American Red Cross. In addition to responding to national disasters, the Vermont and New Hampshire Upper Valley Red Cross also responds to local disasters. The Green Mountain chapter has responded to an average of 125 house and apartment fires each year across our region, providing emergency assistance to displaced families and first responders. The American Red Cross volunteers make up 90% of the organization's workforce, and its mission, the American Red Cross prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. This is your local Bennington County Disaster Action Team of the American Red Cross. Now coming up the float, the Bats Brats softball team. You notice them with their black and orange trim. Now heading down is the folks from Niemer Auto Sales right here in Bennington, Vermont. Get that Silverado for what, $229 a month with about $3,000 down? At least that, $12,000 a year. I'd like to thank the folks from Niemer for coming through. They call it the smallest city in the USA. I'm only reading it off the color guard. I'd like to welcome to the Bennington Battle Day Parade the City of Virgins Fire Department. Is it like a rule you can't smile or something? Color guard there. There you go. All right. I didn't know if that was possible. But thank you for coming. The Virgins utility truck, Vermont State Fires Association Emergency Maintenance Technician of the Year. Are you in there? Are you waving? There you go. Congratulations. We'd like to welcome the Novotny Tree Farm, Granger Hollow in Shaftesbury, Vermont. He's driving John Deere Green. Very nice. All right, we're kicking off section number 5. You know them, they're right here in Bennington, Vermont. It's your Fighting Patriots from Mount Anthony Union High School. All right, throw that thing up there. Get it right up in the air. Come on now, don't be shy. The Whirling Twirlers could do it. You can do it. Remember, we're not back in school yet. We got all these kids together. From Mount Anthony Union High School, it's your Marching Patriot Band. Right behind Mount Anthony Union High School, the good folks from Manchester, Vermont, Volunteer Fire Department, engine number 5. And we've got a float right before that, sponsored by the Boy Scouts Troop number 353 from right here in Bennington, Vermont. You related to them there, Chief? There you go. Here comes the Middlebury, Vermont Volunteer Fire Department. The Middlebury Fire Department has brought its engine number 3, which is a 2006 Pearson Forcer, to escort Larry Volkert, who's receiving the Senior Firefighter of the Year Award. Larry's being driven by Myron Selleck, the Assistant Chief of the Middlebury Fire Department. And right behind the Middlebury Fire Department are the Quabog Highlanders from Monson, Massachusetts. Welcome the Quabog Highlanders Pipe and Drum from Monson, Massachusetts. They've been marching throughout New England for over 10 years. They must be tired. There are 45 members are men and women between the ages of 15 and 70 from different walks of life from various towns in the Pioneer Valley. All band members volunteer their time and talents to bring the music of Highland piping to the public. It's the Quabog Highlanders! And now we have a float on the way, sponsored by the Bennington Health and Rehabilitation Center in Bennington, Vermont. Next, we have a float from Greenberg's Hold Center. We also have the Vermont Voltage, trying to keep the ball in the air. Oh! I like the head thing better. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, it's got to take some talent to do this a mile. I mean, seriously. Are they not doing a great job? Don't lose your focus now. I just said nice things about you. I'd like to thank the folks for Greenberg's for being here. And now heading down is a Red Caps marching band from Gloversville, New York. Now, when most people think of marching bands, they tend to picture high school students. Not so with the Red Caps marching band, one of only a handful of professional marching bands in the region with approximately 50 years of experience. The group evolved from the new Baltimore Firehouse Band in the early 60s. It's the Red Caps Marching Band from Gloversville, New York. We have the Melrose Volunteer Fire Department in Melrose, New York. And here comes the Wild Country Cloggers, right here in Bennington, Vermont, originally formed as a dance club called the Dance Ranch Cloggers in '91. They bring 20 plus years of experience of teaching and performing clogging. In 2005, ownership changing hands. They're categorized as a performance and exhibition clogging studio team that also competes annually. Wild Country Cloggers earning the title of Vermont's only existing and longest running clogging competition team. It's the Wild Country Cloggers. Now we have a float sponsored by the Philmont Fire Department in Philmont, New York. That is an 1860 hose cart. The Philmont Fire Department, company number 1, started in 1896 as a volunteer fire company. Still operates that way this day. Here are the Berkshire Highlanders from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Established back in 1976, the Berkshire Highlanders Pipe Band marches and plays from St. Patrick's Day until October in a splendid array of college graduations and alumni reunions. The band's tartan is the two main colors, blue of the Berkshire skies and the green of its forested mountains. The secondary stripes include red and yellow representing the spectacular fall foliage and white for the 75 inches of winter that we have here. It is the Berkshire Highlanders from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Next up, firefighters from right over the border. It's from Hoosick Falls. It's the Hoosick Falls Volunteer Fire Department, Chief Carlton Kuhn, in truck number 172. Established back in 1847 as a fire district, and right behind them is a fire truck from Proctorsville, Vermont. I'd like to thank the Proctorsville volunteers for being here. Truck number 60, tanker number 1. And right behind Proctorsville are the good folks from Ludlow. Ludlow, Vermont, engine number 4. Next up is a float sponsored by the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce. The Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce promotes, leads, and advocates a unified effort on behalf of its members to maintain and improve a healthy business climate and rewarding quality of life. Membership in the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce open to any individual or organization interested in working collectively for the betterment of the business climate and quality of life in the Bennington area. The Bennington Area Chamber has been representing Bennington since 1911. Got a raffle going on for cancer research, and of course our catamounts with a nice winter scene. And now from Mechanicville, New York, it is the Fiesta Band. From Mechanicville, it is the Fiesta Band. I'd like to welcome the members to the Johnsonville Fire Department. Fire rescue truck from the Johnsonville Fire Department. Here come our friends from North Hoosick. It is the North Hoosick Volunteer Fire Department in North Hoosick, New York, fighting fire since 1947. North Hoosick Volunteer Fire Department Chief Alan Bourne. Comes more of the North Hoosick Fire Department vehicles. We've got the Rescue 23 truck. Now welcome the Hoosick Fire Department. Got the Hoosick Fire Department engines coming through. Rescue number 16. Now coming through is the Wallingford Fire Department engine number 1. Thank you for being here, the Bennington Battle Day Parade. And right behind them, your own football team from right here in Bennington. It is the Bennington Storm. Oh, they've got a game coming up, 7 o'clock Saturday at Spinelli Field. You want to stand behind the guys when the fight starts, not in front of them. Thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate it. Right behind them, the Pittsfield Red Knights Drum Corps from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. The Red Knights organized just less than 4 years ago in Pittsfield by a group of Drum Corps veterans. We'd like to thank the Red Knights for being here. And right behind the Red Knights is the Shrewsbury Volunteer Fire Department. They have the Vermont State Firefighters Association Line Officer of the Year. Now we have a float sponsored by the Bennington 8 and Under All-Star Team. That's it. That's all you can throw. Just that one poor lollipop. That's a little better. There you go. Don't hit me with anything. It's a 2013 Bennington 8 and Under All-Stars. Now we got the folks from Williamstown. I'd like to thank them for coming. Rolling Thunder number 1.
Thank you.
Comes more of the Williamstown Fire Department, part of their muster team. Now we've got the Freedom Truck owned by Roger Myers. Roger Myers and Freedom Truck. Now we've got Teens for Change, youth outreach program helping adolescent voices be heard from United Counseling Service. Teens for a Change. This is the 49th edition of the Bennington Battle Day Parade, being broadcast live on CAT TV. I'm sure they'll have their schedule up as to when they're going to run it through the next few weeks. So you can go home and watch that after you get out of here. And again, we're glad that you're here. Again, returning our salute. Bill McCoy for the 47th year. We thank him for that as well. Now we have a float from the Moose Lodge. I'd like to thank them for being here. All right, so I didn't guess the big moose in the back. That's why you're the police chief. You get those things and I don't. Coming towards us right now is the Taconic Pipe Band from Hoosick Falls, New York. Taconic Pipe Band was formed in the Misty Highlands of Petersburg back in 1975. Dedicated to the highest tradition of Scottish Highland piping and drumming, the band has within its ranks of pipers and drummers of many ages and ethnic backgrounds who perform in full Scottish military regalia highlighted by the brilliant red and yellow Cameron Tartan. Meetings and practices are held at the Hoosick Falls Central School in Hoosick, New York. It's the Taconic Pipe Band. What parade is complete without belly dancers? Here's the Bennington Lady Tribal Belly Dancers, a sisterhood of tribal dancers in Vermont, the land of verdant green mountains, fiery autumn colors, and sparkling white winters. Their colorful costumes and world music reflect the panorama of seasons in this beautiful part of the country. Next, we have the Greater Bennington Peace and Justice Center, a nonprofit organization celebrating their 30th year. Congratulations, since 1983. A group of individuals working for peace and justice in the local community and throughout the world. The Greater Bennington Peace and Justice Center. And we round out our parade, beautiful, beautiful horses, as we finish up the 49th Bennington Battle Day Parade. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to the 49th Bennington Battle Day Parade. Again, it's being broadcast on Cat TV. You'll be able to see that. After you go home, they'll have the schedule of events and you'll be able to see it. And we'll see you back here next year for the 50th Bennington Battle Day Parade.
And for one of the first times that you and I have been together, we actually got to
see the parade
and enjoy it. So that was really great.
That was nice, and that was a quick 2 hours.
It was a quick 2 hours. You know, if you haven't gotten enough of this parade and you want to see it again, if you're watching Cat TV on Channel 15, there are going to be replays on Tuesday the 20th at 2:30 in the afternoon, Thursday the 22nd, 6 o'clock at night, Saturday the 24th at 10 o'clock and 5:30, so we're on twice. Sunday the 25th, 6 o'clock. Monday the 26th, 11, and again at 9 p.m. Thursday on the 29th at 5:30. Saturday 8:31 at 9 a.m. And then Sunday 9/1 at 4 p.m. And if you didn't get all of that, and I don't know why you weren't writing it down, but if you didn't get all of it, they're going to scroll the replays on the screen and you're going to get to see everything. So again, this has just been wonderful.
Judy, it was great working with you again. It was
Yes.
great to see you once a year. We got to do this more often. We got to have more parades in
Well,
Bennington.
I usually get to see you Mayfest, and who
That's
knows,
true.
I may
That's true.
stop to see you at Fallapalooza,
Fallapalooza,
too,
that's
which
the
is
next
going to
one.
be a lot of
Fallapalooza
fun.
Car Show, they're all coming up. Garlic Fest and everything. Thanks again to Cat TV, to Comcast, to Ricky Knapp, the Bennington Rural Fire Department, the Bennington Fire Department, for bringing this to you, for allowing us to bring all this to downtown.
Right,
Judy,
Verizon Wireless, which is
Verizon,
always such a nice host for us. I mean, you know, that's where we eat everything, and we enjoy. They feed us and give us stuff to eat and drink and all of that. And if you're watching us right now on Cat TV, stay tuned for Pets of the Week from the Second Chance Animal Center. It's actually, we had a debate about this, but we found out it's the oldest continuously running show on Cat TV. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the parade as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Stay tuned. Watch Cat TV early
Coming
and
up.
often.
And thanks, Jeanette, for carrying us up into Manchester area.
Yes, thanks to all those folks up in Manchester, and it feels like we've been on half of the state today with all the different
Absolutely.
towns that
we have population-wise, it has been.
It has been absolutely great.
Thank you, everybody.
So thank you again.
And thanks, Judy.
Thank you, John.